What do I look at?
The camera. Hey guys!
Hello!
We are doing a very quick video today on 5 frequently asked questions that we get since we moved into our RV.
Very quick. Okay, so question 1.
What do we do for a mailing address? So we're pretty lucky. At this point, Cody's still working. So we stay in Alberta. We stay fairly close to the city that both of us were living in before.
Yes, we're not super mobile right now. Mostly due to financial constraints.
Yeah, so in Canada you have to have like a physical address, and so we list my dad's address on like our driver's licenses and most of our important mail as our primary residence. We did live with him a few years ago. So anyways, he was gracious enough to let us use his mailing address still as like our permanent residence. As far as when we're ordering stuff online, typically like when we went to Grand Prairie, we just paid for a P.O. box while we were out there.
Yep.
And we had important mail forwarded to us, or we would just ship things to us there. And we've done the same thing here in Boyle.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten a P.O. box. Now how that'll work once we're moving around a little more, I'm not 100% sure yet. We might just look at forwarding our mail to different...
Yeah, we've been told there are services where you can set it as your primary mailing address kind of thing, and then the people there will forward it out to you. It's like a little business they set up. We may look into that, or if Valerie's dad is continuing to be okay with it and just super gracious about the whole situation, we'll just keep swinging by his place every now and then, because we do like going to visit him.
Yeah. So that's what we're doing for our mailing addresses right now.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 2. What do you do for insurance?
We had issues with insurance. Apparently, insurance companies won't let you insure an RV unless you have a vehicle, and then they just do the RV as an add-on to the vehicle.
Yeah.
However, we do not have a vehicle capable of towing an RV, therefore we do not have a vehicle that an RV can be insured under.
Yeah.
So right now we're kind of just flying by the seat of our pants, which sucks, but fortunately we didn't pay a lot for it, so it's not like we're going to be out a huge sum of money if like it gets a meteor falling on it.
Yeah, it's been a little strange, and it might just be the insurance companies that we dealt with. I'm sure there are ones out there that would insure it, but so we have a car, and that car is insured. We have full insurance coverage on that. But when we went to insure the trailer, they asked, what is your tow vehicle? And I said, well, right now we don't have one. We just have it parked out on some land. And they said, well, we can't insure it unless you have a tow vehicle, because it's an extension of your tow vehicle, which I thought was strange. So we don't actually have insurance on here. And for me to find a company that would insure our personal belongings as well, like property insurance, I couldn't find a company that would do that for an RV either. So if this thing goes up in flames, not only do we lose the RV, but we lose all of our stuff in it as
There's
well.
a reason our laptops go everywhere with us.
Yeah, whereas when we were in the city, if something had happened, well, we had tens of thousands of dollars in insurance policies to replace things like the computers, the clothing, the furniture, stuff like that. So it's a little sketchy right now, but we'll see.
Please don't burn our house down.
Yeah, we do have life insurance. We're just in the process of changing to something that's going to cost a little less. And then as far as health insurance goes, I was always the one that carried that through my employer, but I'm not employed anymore. So Cody will hopefully have benefits coming through.
Yes, the paperwork's all done in, but Oilfield in particular, the administrative side of things is so slow sometimes.
Yeah, if not,
slow.
We could just go and get our own health insurance through another company like Sun Life or Blue Cross or Great West or whoever. And most of the quotes we got back were about $100 to $300. I know that's like a big range, but I'd say the average is about $200 around there. $200
per person?
No, for us as a couple.
Oh wow, that ain't bad at all.
And that was for our health and our dental and a little bit of life insurance and like a couple other things. So, but we should be, I think we'll be okay. Question number 3, stationary or travel? I've had a few people ask, well, aren't you going to travel? And I've had a few people...
We would prefer to travel, but so far we're stationary.
Yeah, and there's a few reasons for that. So the biggest one is that we don't have a truck to tow
Our car
us.
can't tow a trailer.
Yeah, and 2 is that Cody is still working a full-time job. Now, he does fly in and fly out for work, so if we had a truck, I could technically, tow the trailer around to different spots, but it just kind of worked out for now. We went up to Grand Prairie and stayed there for 3 months while he took a local job to that area. And then we came back down to kind of north central Alberta, just north of the capital city, so that we could still be close to his family, who literally live, like, his mom's, like, just right behind us.
I could throw a rock and hit Mom's house, which is beneficial because she's really sick right now.
Yeah.
At some point, she'll be going for, like, a double hip replacement and stuff, so it's great that we can be close by to help with appointments, to help look after the house, cook the odd meal here and there. But it's not a forever kind of thing, because we do want to see more of the world than where we grew up, because we've seen that part already.
And then all of my family is about an hour and a half to 2 hours south of where we are. So it works out really well for us right now. We're also working on paying off all of our debt. So once we're 100% debt-free, we plan on probably getting rid of this trailer and either buying a different trailer, something a little bigger, or a van. I think right now we're leaning more towards the van. That's what we wanted to do originally.
Yeah. Which seems weird, because one of our big complaints about living in this trailer is that it's so small and there's no room for everything, and a van is obviously going to be smaller. But if we build the van the way we want it, we can create the storage we need and put things where we want it, and it'll work for us.
And so I think the plan after that will be that Cody will still work, but probably maybe 8 to 10 months, no, 6 to 8 months out of the year.
Well, I already work 6 months out of the year.
Yeah, so he'll probably work 6 to 8 months, somewhere around there, and then we'll just take off for the remaining 4 to 6 months, depending on what we're doing, and just go somewhere warmer, because we do live through a Canadian winter in this RV, and that kind of leads into our next question of, we had a lot of people asking us when we did this. We moved in July. They said,
what about winter? Is it winterized? What kind of insulation do you have?
What are you going to do? And keep in mind that, like, depending on where you are in Canada, it changes. Like, if you're in BC, it's a lot warmer for the winters down there. Like, it hardly ever dips below freezing, and when it does, they're like maybe 10 degrees below.
Yeah, the lower mainland in BC, I think the harshest winter they've ever had, they had like a day and a half of some snow on the ground.
Yeah. Whereas the rest of Canada, like the majority of Canada, gets
Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's actually true.
It gets quite cold. So we started off with a mild winter here. It was probably about minus 15 to minus 20 Celsius for most of it.
It was nice.
Last 2 weeks have been pretty brutal. They've been around minus 30 to minus 40 degrees Celsius, and that's without the wind chills.
Yeah.
So it has been very, very cold, but we were determined right when we moved in here. We were like, nope, we plan on living in here. Yeah. That's another reason why we're stationary. If we were mobile, it would be really hard to do that in this weather, because it does require us to skirt in the trailer, put a permanent heating source underneath to prevent things from freezing. It just works out better if we're stationary. We also have things like heated hoses. And I mean, obviously we just get used to a cooler climate. Like, it's generally about 18 to 20 degrees in here.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things, is just learning to expand your comfort zone. Because, you know, if it's not 22 inside, you won't freeze, I promise.
Yeah. Like, living in the city in our apartment, I was personally used to having the temperature around 23 or 24. Like, I really like being warm.
She does. It's a problem.
So moving in here in the winter was definitely, I wouldn't say a shock, but there was an adjustment period. There were nights, and our nights, where I'm like, it's cold, and I can get a little grumpy about it. But it's not cold, you know, like it's uncomfortable sometimes, but let's be real, 18 to 20 degrees Celsius, like, that's still pretty good in here.
Yeah.
Considering that it's minus 40 outside a lot of the time.
And I mean, like, look, she's not even wearing a sweater right now. You know, growing up, I was always told that this is the temperature we keep the house at. If you're cold, we have more blankets. We have sweaters. You can put slippers on. Wear a house coat.
Yeah. So now, living through one of the harshest winters I think I've ever seen in Alberta in my lifetime, in an RV, young. No less. Would I do it again? Yep. I would do it again. It was not that bad.
Would we do it better next time? You betcha.
Yeah, I think there are things that we could do better, like investing in the right heated hose to begin with, rather than going through 3 or 4 of them. And
skirting the trailer properly, except I bit off more than I could chew, didn't take enough time, and then got lazy.
Yeah.
And then it snowed.
And keep in mind, we're living in a 1997.
It's old.
Yeah, it's like, this is an old trailer. It is not meant for 4-season living, but we've managed to make it work, so.
Yes.
Okay, so question number 5. What do we do for phone or internet? Now, our phone plans don't change because we're staying in Canada. We're with Virgin, which...
Cell phone.
We're with Virgin, which is, they run off the same towers as Bell, so they have really great nationwide coverage. So if we were to travel across Canada, we have coverage.
And plus, I believe they're international, too, because they're like a UK company. I'm pretty sure they've done some stuff in the States, so we can probably piggyback off them for basically everything.
Yeah, or get roaming, or both of our phones support eSIM, so if we wanted to get a secondary plan for our phones with a secondary number in the States, we could do that. So we haven't really had any issues there. In terms of internet, that was a little trickier to figure out. When we were in Grand Prairie, the RV park we had did have internet. It was pretty decent, but it was expensive. It was $5 a day or $100 a month. So we paid for $100 a month. And that gave us unlimited internet at pretty decent speeds. We would average about 15 to 20 megabits per second. So it was pretty good. It was enough for us to like Netflix, YouTube, upload videos, get any work done that we might want to get done. Now, if you're traveling permanently, that might be a lot harder. We do have a little thing from Bell that lets us roam with data. It's basically like a mobile hotspot.
It's basically the 2019 version of their original internet stick.
Yeah. So it's like 60 gigabytes a month, and that's $100 a month. So it's quite a bit more expensive than your traditional internet, and you can go over that, but then they charge you per gigabyte. Currently at the RV park we're in right now, we're very lucky. There is a company called ExploreNet that would actually come out and install a permanent receiver for
the satellite internet.
Yeah, it's like LTE, so it actually runs off cell phone towers. So it runs off a cell phone tower just like within a kilometer or two from where we are, and we average around 50 to 60 megabits per second out here.
Which is actually faster than they advertise.
Yeah, they advertise 25, and then we got like a free upgrade to 50, but we always get between 50 and 60 even before the free upgrade. And that's a lot faster than what we got in the city when we were with Shaw, and they were advertising 100 megabits per second. So we're very happy.
Now, that being said, we are literally direct line of sight to their tower.
Yes.
So, if there's trees and stuff in the way, and I know a lot of people in this area also don't have that experience with them, but hey, we got lucky.
Yeah, so we do also have like a Wi-Fi range extender that I bought, but we haven't had to use it yet. But essentially it just goes onto your roof, and then you feed it through into your trailer. It plugs into a modem, and basically it'll expand the range that it can pick up Wi-Fi signals from, pull them into your trailer, and then push it back out through a modem so that you have your own secure network with your own access network name and your own password and that kind of thing, and you can connect to multiple devices, which would have been great in Grand Prairie because they limited you to 2 devices for that $100 a month. You could only connect 2 devices, whereas we have 2 iPhones, 2 MacBooks, we had an iPad, we've got an Apple TV, we have 2 switches.
Well, at one point we had 2 laptops, 2 iPads, and 2 phones. Yeah,
so that would have been good if we had put that up at the time, but we didn't own it, so we haven't used it yet. When we do, we'll do like a review on that as to how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of our most frequently asked questions and our answers to them thus far.
Yes.
So if you guys have other questions...
Wait, I have a question 5 part B.
What?
What's an eSIM?
An eSIM is like an electronic SIM, so it's not an actual physical SIM card. It's just in your phone, and you can like sign up for a data plan.
Huh.
Yeah.
The more you know.
Yeah. So if you guys have other questions that you want us to answer about living in an RV in Canada, making it through a winter, that kind of stuff, we would love to hear from you. We love answering these questions. We hope you guys are all doing good. You're staring at me and making me nervous.
I know. It's okay, now we're both nervous.
Alright, so we will chat with you guys next time. Bye!
Later!